Good evening. Welcome to Prime Business with me, Emma Davis. For our stories tonight, the National Petroleum Authority has assured industry players it will soon come out with a verdict on the PETL Oil Refinery for selling unwholesome products onto the market. This follows concerns from industry players about the quality of some petroleum products supplied by PETL Oil Refinery. Although the NP has suspended PETL from selling substandard products, industry players fear that it could affect confidence in the industry. Hence, stiffer sanctions must be applied. But responding to these concerns, Head of Quality Control at the National Petroleum Authority, Ubedala Said, tells Joy Business the situation is under control.
I would say that to a large extent, the issue is under control because we have held meetings with PETL Refinery, and where it is necessary, where any of the OMC have brought it to our attention and there is the need, we have evacuated the product back to the refinery to be corrected. We as a regulator, we are doing everything possible to ensure that we have the required quality on the market. On Monday, we had a meeting with PETL, and we have enumerated some of the things that are measures that we have put in place to ensure this doesn't happen again. But they said is some of the issue, as I indicated earlier, we are in a new, experience, and some of the things that it has been challenging, but I'm sure we'll overcome. In respect of the sanctions, like I said, it's an issue that management have not completed with. We are still looking at which OMCs are affected, at what extent, and all these things feed into the decisions that management will take at the end of the day.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of Petroleum, an oil marketing company, Michael Bozumbil, says his outfit is willing to purchase fuel from PETL Oil Refinery. However, they will not compromise with quality. Speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Bozumbil stated that they have currently halted the purchase of only petrol from the refinery as a measure to protect their reputation and customers.
I believe that nothing should be done to compromise the quality of the products for the consumer. And we have to work together. We need the refinery, but also the consumer also requires quality products. I mean, some of us have decided that for that spec of petrol, we are not buying it because we do not want our consumers to suffer.
The General Agricultural Workers Union is projecting an increase in food prices in March, despite Ghana exiting the World Bank's list of top 10 countries in the world with highest food inflation. Reacting to the report, General Secretary of the Union, Dr. Edward Carroll, said Ghana's agriculture is currently in the lean season and will experience shortage until the next harvest.
Price of food will not get better anytime soon because if you look at the country as a whole, we are entering into, or we are already in the lean season of our production season. Our production cycle, this is a lean season. You know, no part of the country that we are experiencing harvesting of foodstuffs, particularly the major staples. If you look at maize, nowhere in the country that we are harvesting maize at this time. You are talking about rice, unless some rice in the irrigation areas. Otherwise, generally speaking, throughout the country, there are low rains. And then this is also the time that the southern part of the country will begin to prepare their farms for the major season. So this is the lean season. All foodstuffs that we are eating now is a stock from last year. So we don't expect food prices to come down now. We expect that by the middle of March to the end of March, food prices will go up and they will stay high like that until we begin to harvest around June, July in the southern part of the country.
A little longer in agriculture, as chief of party at the USAID feed, the Future project. Dr. Victor Entry is calling on agribusinesses to make efforts in tapping into some funds available for smart food production in the country. This fund is expected to support small businesses in the sector to create sustainable models aimed at meeting the Sustainable Development Goals. According to Dr. Entry, US aid is available to support any business idea in accessing the funds. He spoke to Joy Business at the final day for the Climate Financing Conference in Accra. Here's more.
The three-day conference highlighted some opportunities available for players in the climate change and agribusiness space. This is geared towards promoting food security in a sustainable economy. According to the chief party of the USAID Feed the Future project, Dr. Victor Entry, climate-friendly Ghanaian businesses have the advantage to apply for funds to support their growth. He believes that this will reduce the operational costs for the move towards climate change.
As we speak, the Ghana government has Ministry of Finance as the national designated authority for the Green Fund, the Green Climate Fund. So they've facilitated over $700 million. But the thing is, how many businesses know that they can access these funds to invest in mitigation and adaptation mechanisms? So this conference is very, very important for them to know that even you can have access to carbon credit, which is currently one of the avenues of generating funds. We have a lot of businesses who are using solar panels. There are others who are also producing a lot of tree crops. We are talking about agroforestry.
Major partner of the event, PolicyLink, believes that most of the country's policies on food production are outdated and need some review. Country lead at PolicyLink, Yunus Abdullahi, told Joy Business that efforts are ongoing to review some regulations in the sector.
We work with the Ministry of Food and Agriculture to revise the country national Climate Smart Agriculture and Food Security Action Plan. This was a plan that was developed way back in 2016, and it was supposed to be implemented up to 2020. And currently, we're working with the ministry and key actors to revise the plan because there have been new emerging issues around climate smart agriculture that needs to be incorporated into the plan. And PolicyLink is working with the government and actors to incorporate these emerging technologies and practices that will ensure that smallholder farmers are climate resilient.
The theme for the conference is mobilizing resources for adaptation and mitigation.
Away from agriculture, Ayo Ghana, together with MTN Ghana, has launched its Ayo Pay and Drive insurance. The insurance product, according to its head of sales and commercial, Emmanuel Jim, is to aid in Ghana's quest to increase its insurance penetration. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch.
We had a launch for Ayo Pay and Drive, which is an innovative digital insurance that we introduced to the Ghanaian market. And with that one, you just go onto your smartphone, app.ayoghana.com. Then you can subscribe to the product. You ask your name, the details of the car, and you can pay through mobile money as well. And your certificate, insurance certificate, your sticker, your receipts is pushed to you via WhatsApp. Still, if you want to still do old school where you wouldn't want things being sent to you digitally, you can still walk to any nearest MTN office, any nearest Sanlam office, insurance office, to get your insurance certifications as well. The cardinal benefits of Pay and Drive is affordability. We live in a country where financial constraints and other vices, so you can always budget which period you want to buy. So we have limited the insurance cover to as little as 10 days. You can buy for 10 days or up to the 365 days. And everything is paid via your phone. And you can do that in the comfort of your home as well. One other aspect is that insurance buying initially should be, you have to call your broker, you have to call your agent, you have to walk to an insurance office. We are giving the power to you. You just dial app.ayoforyou.com on your smartphone, and you can purchase. It's open to other networks as well, and you can always get that benefit that Ayo, the peace of mind that Ayo Pay and Drive gives the Ghanaian market.
Delta Airlines has dispelled assertions that aircrafts that come to Africa, especially Ghana, are outmoded or not fit for purpose. Lately, there have been some misconceptions, largely on social media, about the lack of regard for the African and Ghanaian market. But Managing Director of International Communications for Delta Airlines, Rasan Johnson, tells Joy Business Delta Airline is committed to the safety and well-being plus comfort of all customers, including those traveling from Ghana. He spoke to my colleague, Emefa Apel.
Delta is the, first of all, most awarded airline in the United States of America. For several years, for at least 10 years, Delta has had the highest rankings in customer service, customer satisfaction, reliability, fewest cancellations, most on-time performance. For customers in Ghana specifically, our focus is to maintain what is a very high level of customer satisfaction already. Customers who travel on Delta out of Accra give us some of our highest customer satisfaction rankings throughout Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. So we have a wide-ranging fleet of airplanes that travel all throughout our system. There is no airplane that we fly to Ghana that we don't fly to Tahiti, within the United States, to South America, to Europe, and to everywhere else. The 767-300 airplane that we fly to Ghana carries some of our highest paying customers on routes between New York and Los Angeles, for example. It carries our vacationers going from Los Angeles to Tahiti. It carries business travelers going from Atlanta to Bogota. So the aircraft that we fly to and from Ghana is the right size aircraft for us to be financially successful in Ghana. What we want to do is to have a strong business that allows us to give the right amount of service to the community so that we can fly that route every day, so that we can fly that route and be successful. The alternative is a larger airplane for fewer flights a day, or for fewer flights per week, or fewer weeks per month, or fewer months per year. We want to provide the level of convenience and options and service, and I'm happy to say we've had no cancellations between Accra and the United States since September. Now, we've had 2 long delays, that's too many, but we will always do what is safe, and our dispatch reliability, the rate at which those airplanes are scheduled to go is higher than it is in many of our international markets.
Rasan Johnson, Managing Director of International Communications at Delta Airlines, speaking to my colleague Emefa Apel there. Knowing your run rate as an entrepreneur is critical to the growth of every business or person before embarking on projects or fundraising. In today's episode of Entrepreneur in You, Dr. Maxwell Ampon shed more light on why you should know your run rate as an entrepreneur or business person.
Hello. Imagine you are planning a road trip with a fixed amount of fuel in your car. You need to know how far you can go without fuel, right? This is quite similar to a concept in business that we call run rate, and it's something that every entrepreneur should know. In simple terms, your run rate is like how far your car can go before it runs out of fuel. But instead of fuel, you're talking about money. For an entrepreneur, it tells you how long you can keep your business running with the money that you have right now. Let's say you're running a small business or a project and you have 10,000 Ghana cedis in your bank account right now. But every single month you spend 1,000 Ghana cedis. Your run rate is then the 10,000 Ghana cedis that is in your account divided by the 1,000 Ghana cedis, making 10. Then you add the time, which is the months, it becomes 10 months. So your run rate is now 10 months. This means you can run the business or the project for 10 months before you run out of cash. Understanding your run rate is important for 2 main reasons. For the entrepreneur, that is you, it's like a fuel gauge for your business. Knowing your run rate helps you plan better. You know when it's time to start looking for more money, just like how you plan fuel stops on a long trip with your friends or on a long journey. It's also a great way to check if you're spending money wisely. If your run rate is shorter, you might need to find other efficient means of spending money, or you might want to find ways and means of making your money last longer. That said, your run rate is also important to the people that you're asking for money from, which is your investors, your funders. When people invest in your business, they want to know that it's a good decision that they made. Your run rate helps them see how you manage your money. A longer run rate shows that you are more careful with your money, which might make a lot of investors more comfortable investing in you than the next guy. Aside that, it also helps investors gauge the time that they would give you money. If a business is really good, or your idea is really juicy and an investor wants to still come along, letting an investor in on your short run rate might let them invest sooner rather than later to help you keep going. So for anyone running a business, whether a big business or a small business, understanding your run rate is like knowing how much fuel you have left. It is essential to keeping your journey smooth and knowing when to refuel. And for people looking to invest, it's a way to see if the journey is worth you joining on board. You know, I wouldn't join a car even if I had the money for the fuel, knowing very well that we'll run out of fuel before we reach the next refueling station. So keep this in mind, whether you're starting your own business or considering investing in someone else's dream. Until next time, keep well.
Brought to you by Africa School of Entrepreneurship.
Well, I hope knowing your run rates will bring the best entrepreneur in you. That's all for tonight on Prime Business. My name is Emma Davis. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. I leave you with international business.